as we watched the weather come in yesterday and the rain start pouring down, we knew it was going to be a challenging game from a field condition standpoint. We went to the stadium yesterday and trained at it and saw the conditions, saw how it was gradually getting worse, and knew at game time it wasn't going to be good. And I can only say that really proud of the guys, the way they embraced that. They didn't hesitate. They didn't complain. They didn't complain yesterday in training. They didn't complain today in the game. They just went about their business. Credit El Salvador for scoring on their shot that they had, and then we had an uphill battle, and we had to get back into it. Second half, I think the guys really took the intensity to a different level. And to see that from this group, to see the resiliency from this young group, the way they fought, we're really proud of them. Although we didn't get the win, I think it's a good takeaway and a good end to the June camp, and it really brought the guys together in a good way. Thank you.
We'll begin with Stephen Goff from the Washington Post.
Gregg, crazy night. Kind of felt like a qualifier out there with all the mayhem and everything else. You faced some adversity today, both in conditions and falling behind. I imagine facing adversity, whether of any kind, is important for this team going into a World Cup. Is that part of your takeaway, perhaps?
100%. That's a good call because, the group grows with moments like this. After the game, Jordan Morris walks into the locker room, everyone starts cheering. Everyone's uniform is a dark brown color. The shoes are a mess. The staff is all dirty. I mean, this is what builds teams. And again, at halftime, the message was stay calm. Here's something we're going to focus on. We'll change our shape just a little bit, but we got to keep competing, and we got to take the competing to a different level, and the guys did that.
Next will be Kyle Bonnegar from ESPN.
Yeah, Gregg, what'd you make of Eunice tonight? He seemed like one of the few players who was able to, keep the ball at his feet and progress the ball on the dribble.
Yeah, I was a little bit hesitant just thinking about his skill set and how that was going to work today. But, he took advantage of the dribble for sure. Under poor field conditions, sometimes that can slow you down. And he was tremendous today. If there was a man of the match, we'd probably give it to him because of his performance. You were at the game. You know what the conditions were like. So overall, he did a great job.
Do you think that you have seen enough of him now quantitatively, not just qualitatively?
Jonathan, it's always difficult when players get an opportunity and don't fully capitalize on it. It's not nice for a coach. It's not nice for the players. It's not nice for the group. We were all rooting for Haji to be a force. We purposely played more direct in the first half because we thought he could be the force that would unsettle them. And it just wasn't his night tonight. And, it doesn't rule him out for anything in the future. We don't work like that. Now it's about him going back to his club and continue to score goals and do his thing. But it was an unlucky night for him tonight for sure.
Next will be Ivis Skolarsap from SBI Soccer.
Gregg, two guys I want to ask you about. One, Luca De La Tour, the other, Aaron Long. I know I asked you a couple of days ago about Aaron Long and the criticism he's gotten tonight. He won every one of his duels, led in recoveries, most touches. And as far as Luca De La Tour steps up again, takes another opportunity, how do you see what he's done with these opportunities this year? Because it seems like he's made the most of all of them.
No, he has. He's a guy that, is really fitting in nicely to what we're doing and really is carving out his role, whether that's as a starter or a guy that can come in and impact the game from an offensive standpoint. I think Luca had an excellent camp, good carryover from a disappointing end to his season, but he really picked up and performed well this camp. Regarding Aaron, it was what we talked about, Ivis. It was, him needing to get the rhythm of international soccer, the speed of international soccer. It's a faster game. It's, mistakes get punished. It's tactically really strong opponents, really strong setups that he has to face, and he needed time to get used to it. And that's why we played him half, we played him full game, we played him a half, and then he got to play a full game again today. But I thought he had an outstanding game.
We'll go to Doug McIntyre from Fox.
Sorry, can you hear me, Greg?
Yep, I can hear you, Doug.
Yeah, thank you. I know the focus is on the game tonight, but when you look at the 4 games overall, the June camp overall, what are your takeaways? What did you learn over the course of the month? Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll only speak as a team. I won't speak about individuals right now, and we'll have time to sit down as a staff and evaluate that. But overall, as a team, the guys had a different focus to them in this camp. Although we had some more free time off the field, when they were on the training field at the stadium for the games, they had a different focus, and the group grew together. The group grew stronger throughout throughout these 3 weeks. I think they enjoyed it. And then I learned on the field is that we're a dangerous team. We're a team that can compete on days like today, and we can play soccer when it's necessary. And, we can hurt teams with our defensive pressure. We can hurt teams with our offensive movement. So overall, coming out of the window in a positive way, we still have work to do to get World Cup ready, and we're going to use the September window to finalize things. But excited to see what this group can do at the World Cup.
We'll go to Ryan Talmadge from Goal.com.
Thank you, Michael. Hey, Greg, you spoke earlier about just the reaction in the locker room and the way the guys felt. And when you look at the celebration on the goal from Jordan, that was a celebration, a big moment. It looked like that group of guys that really cared about what they did and were really proud of themselves for what they had to overcome today. And when you look at the big picture, obviously there's a lot of big games ahead and a lot of big moments ahead. How does this game and this result in overcoming this adversity kind of fit into that? What does this result mean when you look at that big picture?
It's not a normal game where you come from behind. You had to battle a number of different elements, right? You had some referee decisions that were questionable, I think. You had the weather conditions, whether it be pouring rain or the field conditions, the mud that we were dealing with, some gamesmanship by the opponent. All those things added together made for a number of different challenges that we had to overcome on that night. And the guys really responded well. They stayed calm, and they just kept working hard. And it shows them, I think, that sometimes the answer to these solutions are just working really hard.
Next will be Sanjay Sujan Thakumar.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Greg. Greg, looking ahead for a second, even looking past September, I want to ask about how, the MLS regular season ends in early October, and MLS Cup is more than 2 weeks before the start of the World Cup.
Yep.
I believe you mentioned there'd be a camp for MLS guys in between. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the overall challenge to keep MLS guys fit and in form ahead of Qatar in case they get eliminated early. And also for guys like Walker, Kellen, Jesus, I know there's a few more, but guys who have been involved since December, are you concerned about burnout by the time we get to Qatar? Where are they physically right now? And is there a conversation at all with the clubs regarding type of load management in the months ahead?
Yeah, that's a good point. We're going to have to consider that for sure. And I think that load management will be key. You can see that some of the clubs have done it already with Christian and Jordan, Seattle, sitting them out some games. But overall, we're going to have to look at the group and plan accordingly. Look at how many players we're going to be affecting, how many players will need training, and then decide if we do it on a group or individual level. We've discussed bringing youth national team players into the player pool to round out the group and make it a functional group that can actually train 11v11. So we'll see. We haven't finalized the plans yet, but that's what's in the works.
We'll have 2 more questions and continue with David Malandra.
Hey, Coach, can you just talk about your guys' overall, the way how they came back tonight to close out this June window?
I just think it was a matter of mindset, just not quitting and keep going and keep believing that we were going to get the breakthrough no matter what it took. It wasn't just that chance we had in the game. We had a number of other chances to score, a number of good chances. And, it was just continuing to plug away, continue to put their head down and work hard. We talked before the game about embracing the battle, embracing what this game was going to be like, and the guys did an excellent job of doing that.
Last question comes from Andrew Jones.
Thank you, Michael. Greg, can you repeat what you said in regards to what Jordan was saying in the locker room in terms of the excitement over his goal? And just your thoughts in regards to being able, after this whole month of just coaching and bonding, how you will take some time off or anything in regards to being able to freshen up for a few days. So just your thoughts on those 2 things.
Yeah, I'm going to need a couple of days after this one. But, no, I think it was more, what I was saying is, as Jordan came into the locker room after the game, this is a guy that, hasn't played much throughout this camp. And he walks into the locker room, and the whole group went nuts, started cheering his name. And that's what type of group this is. It's a selfless team. It's a group that's, concerned about their teammates performing well and supporting their teammates at all moments. And it was a really nice moment to see him being embraced by the group. But we have him here now, so I'm going to let him do the rest of the talking.